Today I'm gonna be talking about period panties. I've been wearing period panties for more than a year, and I'm gonna tell you the good, the bad, and the stinky. I am your favorite confidence advocate to help you be more confident mentally, spiritually, and physically. I want to share with you the whole transition into wearing period panties, what I like about them, what I hate about them, and if I suggest it for you. I have a couple of examples of the period panties that they offer, and I'm going to explain to you how I use it within my lifestyle. Before we get there, if you enjoy these type of videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that way you can see all my fire videos. I really would appreciate it. I'm going to wait. Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It really helps for other women who are looking for this information just like you to have access to it, and YouTube will share it with them if you guys like this video. So don't forget to get a big thumbs up. Let's get into this. All right, so I have been on birth control on and off. When I am on birth control, my period is 7 to 8 days, okay? But when I'm off birth control, my period is 3 days max, 4 days if I don't know if there's residue. So it was a different experience. Some people go on birth control and they don't have it, but that just was not my experience. I think because it is being regulated by a birth control, it was making it for the 7 days that I wasn't technically taking the hormones, right? So I hated that my period was longer, but that also made my experience with period panties different chapters of my life. So I have used every period panty product that they basically have. And just so you guys know, I also have a problem with incontinence, which means I have a really hard time holding my pee. So maybe you're one of those people that want an extra layer of protection because you have to rush to the bathroom all the time and you feel like you need something there. This is perfect. You don't have to wear a diaper. You're not an old lady. Some people have babies and it's just harder for them to hold their pee after you have children. I don't have kids. I just can't hold my pee. I really enjoy them for like long flights. If I don't want to use a porta potty at an event, you don't just pee in them. It only holds a certain amount of liquid. But if you're bad at holding your pee, it's like the perfect alternative, okay? So let's get into this video. I have a couple of examples of panties that I've used. First things first, this is their like regular period brief, high waist brief. Love that. This is for like your heavy days. It's really thick lining on the inside. It's really clean. I don't know why I sniffed it. I don't know why I did that, but I did. I sniffed it. I don't know why I did that. They're clean. This one is another version of their period panty. This is their bikini, but the lining in here is a little bit lighter because it's for lighter days. It's for your lighter flow days. If you have incontinence issues, it's a really good idea to get like a lighter panty because you don't really need that much coverage, right? And then we have the short, okay? This is for like overnights. But I don't personally bleed overnight. I only bleed first thing in the morning. So I actually can go to bed and just not wear a pad. I don't have to wear anything at night. I can go the whole night and I won't have anything on my bed as long as I wake up first thing and go to the bathroom right away and put something on. Once my body's awake, then my period starts to flow. But yeah, these are the shorts. I like to wear these on my heavy days or overnight. All right, there's a reason why I'm sniffing them. Trust me, I'm not just sniffing just to sniff. Just wanted to see. Let's start with why I decided to try period panties. I actually was sent a PR package, and at that time, I was already done with pads and tampons. I was already on a Diva Cup journey. I liked the Diva Cup way more than I liked pads and tampons. I already wasn't a tampon girly. I think that they hurt, they give me cramps, and they're easy to forget. I just always felt super uncomfortable with tampons in, and I always felt like I was irritating my girl by wearing tampons, so it just was not good for me. And then as far as a pad goes, it was just like fine. It wasn't a problem. I would just forget to always bring a pad with me or just have extra in my car for emergencies. So I was just like always forgetting. I would get my period and I'd be like, oh my God, I don't have anything. I would always have to run to the store. And I hated that. I hate that I always have to go to the store to get something that should just be delivered to me. But I digress. But yeah, that was my experience with pads and tampons. Nothing against them. I had the Always Infinity ones. It was great. And it wasn't bad, but I also knew that it was not environmentally friendly, and I wanted something where I just always had it and I didn't have to always go to the store and get it. It's economically more friendly to use a Diva Cup, and it also was environmentally more friendly. So that's why I went to the Diva Cup route. I loved it for a short period of time. I loved it until I didn't love it anymore. I felt like the cup, maybe the size was too small at some point. Like at first it fit perfect, and then all of a sudden It was leaking, maybe because it was too old, it was stinking really bad, and I could not deal with the smell of my Diva cup no matter what I did. Soaked it, boil it. I was like, I'm not having it. I don't like the smell. So I was already like getting over it because I was like, I don't want to get an infection. It smells like it was really bad. And at one point it was like catching liquid that was not my period. And I'm like, what is this liquid? And I still to this day do not know what this mysterious watery brown liquid was. I was like, I don't think my body likes this anymore. Either I need a bigger Diva cup or this is just not working for me anymore. Maybe I just have to go back to pads and tampons. And coincidentally, I got a package from Knix. I was not expecting it, and it just happened easily, right? Not everybody is a social media creator. It just so happens that I am, and I got a package, right? And I tried it out. I went rock climbing with them. I did a whole bunch of activities with them. And by accident, I stopped using any other form of feminine hygiene products. I also used to have to wear or use boric acid a lot. Like if I ever felt like itchy or uncomfortable, I used to use boric acid suppositories to freshen up my hoo-ha down there. And I haven't had to do that. It's been very interesting change. When I used to wear a Diva cup, I always had to use like boric acid suppositories to balance my pH, or same thing with pads. I only had 2 yeast infections in my life, but the second yeast infection I ever had lasted for 3 months, and then it turned into BV, and then I got a yeast infection, which is another story for another day. So here we are with my period panties. And I'm gonna go through all the pros and all the cons of the period panties, and then you could choose for yourself. What I love about the period panty, first of all, is that you don't have to do anything for 12 hours. Now, I do not suggest that you wear them for 12 hours, and I'll tell you why. When I get to the con list, I'll tell you why. But I love the fact that I didn't have to worry, especially if I'm wearing like a heavy flow period panty. I didn't have to worry throughout the day. It was like they're always here, and as long as my laundry is done, if I got my period, I would just throw on a period panty. I never had to go to the store. I never had to think about it. It's just here. Easy enough, right? If I'm going on vacation and I'm not sure if my period's gonna come, I just throw period panties in there instead of regular panties, and then I'm happy. Like, that was my experience, that it just was so easy. So I got to the point where I had their starter kit. If you go on their website, Knix's website, they have a starter kit with 5 period panties and a sleeper short to get you started. So I started with a minimal amount of period panties, and then it grew and grew. And now I have a sleeper short for every night. I have a light period panty for every day. I have a regular period. I have so many. And I've had some of them for more than a year, and I have not got rid of them. Some of them I do have to get rid of, and I'm gonna get to that. So that was the first pro. It was just the fact that you don't have to worry about it for 12 hours. It's nothing that you have to change. You just wear them, you free bleed, call it a day. The second pro is that I didn't have any infections, yeast infections, BV. I felt really comfortable with them. It was, like I said, none of my infections came back. It was just an easy change for me. It just was that simple. Another thing is that you could just hand wash them in the shower if you want. I would use like a feminine soap to wash, and you can hang them to dry, and you could do that throughout the week, or you could just throw them in the wash. I think that they last longer if you hand wash them, but since I have so many, I just throw them in the wash. And lastly, you're saving money. I mean, once you buy the period panties, like, that's it. It's like the convenience of them. They're obviously not the cheapest thing in the world. Honestly, if you were to buy like pads all year, obviously if you buy like, it's gonna come out to the same amount you're gonna pay for the panties, right? But you're paying for the convenience. You don't have to go to the store, right? So there's those like things that it's like, I could say it's more economically friendly, but is it really, right? I couldn't tell you that. It depends on how often you change them, rebuy them, how long's your last, how heavy your period is. So it's just different for everybody, okay? I will also say that they're environmentally friendly because you're not doing 3 to 5 pads a day, right? Some people have heavy periods and they have to change their pad every time they go to the bathroom, right? That was not my experience, but I still feel like I'm doing something better for the environment by just using what I have. Look, I'm not 100% green. Like, I just started getting Poland Spring delivered to my house, but there's still gas that has to be put in that truck that gets into the air to get to my house. So it's like, you do what you can. I don't buy water bottles anymore. You screwed if you do, you screwed if you don't, right? So I'm trying. And this is a way that I feel like I am being more environmentally friendly. Now let's get into the ugly. Because it's not perfect. It's not a perfect experience. Having your period sucks in general. There's always, no matter what route you take, guys, like there's gonna be pros and cons, right? So here are the cons. I've gone a whole year by accident. It was just easy to grab the panties and go. There are times, there are moments where I'm like, I can't do this anymore. And I'm gonna tell you what they were. First things first, if you are the type of person that is so super hygiene crazy, I know I have friends that are super hygiene crazy, and there's some friends where they're just more relaxed about it because they know it's blood coming out of you. If you're one of those people that changes your pad every time you go to the bathroom, you're probably not gonna like period panties. I'm gonna tell you why. Especially if you're doing it because you feel like you don't want to put like dirty stuff back on. Like I know, like I said, I have girlfriends that have to change their pad every time because knowing that it's dirty, they can't put it back up. This is not gonna be for you. There are times where I've gone to the bathroom and then I've pulled the panties back up and it's cold because it's wet. Right? And you're gonna be like, oh, like I just put liquid back up there. For the most part, 90% of the time, that's not gonna happen. But if you're on a really heavy flow and you've been bleeding right then and there and you go to the bathroom, you just finished bleeding, there's gonna be some left over. It has not sucked up all the blood. It's not automatic. It's not, oh, blood's there, suck in, right? It's not like that. It's gonna take time for it to suck in all the blood. But there are times you can take them off and go like this and go like that to show, and there won't be anything there. I've tested it myself, but there are times where that's not the case because I just finished bleeding, right? So if you're one of those people that's super neat freak, not for you. It's not gonna work because you're gonna feel like you're taking something dirty and putting it back up. I was never the girl that changed my pad every time I go to the bathroom. I look at my pad and if there's some space left, I'm gonna leave it. Not like crazy. If there's like a line of blood, okay, I'm gonna put it back up. I don't need to change that, me personally. Some girls, like I said, to each their own. I'm just not super duper uber super clean. Sorry, or whatever. You're gonna think about me, whatever you think about me, whatever. Yeah, I think I'm nasty, whatever. I don't care. For me, it wasn't a problem. But another con, you wear these panties for more than 12 hours. It's not meant to do that, but let's say, I don't know, you so happen to have a long day and you weren't thinking about it. You woke up at 5:30 and before you know, it's 6 o'clock and you're like, oh my God, your panties are gonna stink. I'm sorry to say, they're gonna smell you. You're gonna be able to smell yourself. You're gonna be like, oh my God, I need to get out of these panties. After a while of wearing them, they really stink. And not only do they stink, the scent will stay on the panty. I've destroyed panties by just keeping them on for too long. There's nothing I can do to change the outcome of this, right? I had a period panty, a regular black pair, and they just were, I would wash them, but they would still have a scent. And I was like, why do they still smell? Right? And no matter what I did, I tried soaking it in baking soda and vinegar, and no matter what I did, because I wore these panties for way too long, longer than I'm supposed to, it was over. Like, they were destroyed. So you have to really make sure that you're paying attention to how long you're wearing them. I have not had an experience where I've wore them for 8 hours or even 10 hours and they started to smell. It's always when you try to do too much, right? 12 hours is crazy. And so, like I said, sometimes you don't even realize you're doing it. And honestly, it's like the lighter panties or the heavy flow panties don't ever get a smell to them. But the like regular ones, you just get too comfortable and you're not realizing that not only have period blood going there, but you have your regular moisture, your sweat, things like that. And the mixture of it and after all that time, it's gonna start to stink. And it will stain the panty. Like, it's over. Like, it will stink up and it's done. So you don't want to ruin your period panties, especially if you're on a budget and then you're like, I can't wear these and then they stink, right? I've had experiences where I've taken a period panty that I have worn for 12 hours. I wash them and they smell clean like after. But then when I go to wear them, like a couple hours in, they start to smell because I already destroyed it from that first 12-hour period. My point is that there's no way to resolve that if you overstep your boundary with the time frame of how long you wear the panty. That's just my opinion. That's why it was funny, because I did this video and then I stopped it and I kept sniffing them because I wanted to see what they would smell like. And these are really good. These are pretty new for the most part. I don't smell anything. But there are some panties that once you destroy them, it's over. Another con is if you're a weird like neat freak, again, like OCD, just the fact of there being like period panties in your hamper, you can rinse them out. And I live by myself, so it's a little bit different. Like I don't have to worry about like people, so I can wash my panties and put them up in the shower. But if you're weird about that and like you don't want people in your business and you're uncomfortable, like that might be an uncomfortable situation because you're not just throwing it out. There's no way to be discreet unless, I don't know, unless you're secretive and you're like, okay, I'm gonna wring them out and then I'm gonna put them in a bag. But like you don't want to do that because you can just make them sour. You just have to be open about it. It is what it is. But it's just something that, like I said, is not easily discardable. Let's say you know you're gonna have a long day at work. You should not wear them more than honestly 10 hours. Let's say you have a 12-hour shift and you bring an extra panty. I guess you could just throw it in your purse. But who wants like a dirty period panty in their purse? You know what it means? You could be proactive and bring extras, but then you don't want to carry that, right? You want to just get rid of it. Those are my cons. I don't think the cons outweigh the pros. I feel like I have not bought a box of pads. In my opinion, I'm gonna go with the convenience. I remember I'd be at church and once I started to get funky, because like I said, I was not paying attention. I'm serving, I'm doing whatever. I excuse myself. I'm like, I gotta go. I'm having hygiene problems. I gotta go take a shower. I stink. I'll say it just like that. But some people are not like as open as I am. I can't expect everybody to be that way, but that's just who I am. Do I suggest period panties? I say yes, because that's all I wear now. Would suggest buying new ones every year. I would suggest having a lot of them. I mean, you don't want to like chance it, only have 5 and then it's, oh, what am I gonna do? Like, I think it's important to have, I would say 7 sleeper shorts, 7 regular panties, and like maybe 3 light panties. And I don't know how many come in the set. You guys would have to check out Knix's website, but I'd strongly suggest like taking a look, maybe start doing their starter kit. I also suggest if you're someone who has a heavy period and if you're afraid that your period is gonna overflow your pad or you're gonna go through tampons, maybe you're one of those people that, like I have a family member and her birth control made her bleed nonstop all day. It was just like the worst. And I was like, just use it as an extra layer of protection. Have the pad, but also use this so that way if it leaks, you're secure, right? It's very good for security if you're traveling and you just are so nervous that you're not gonna have the time to change your pad or your tampon. This is the perfect opportunity that if it leaks a little bit, you're secure. You don't have to worry about getting it on your pants. I know that they also lean into teenagers if they're going to a sleepover and they have their period and you hear those horror stories where you wake up and there's blood all over the bed. This could be like your layer of protection, right? To make you feel a little bit better. Those are my thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. It was a lot longer than I thought it was gonna be. I was not expecting to talk about this for 20 minutes, but if you made it all the way here, thank you so much for your love and support, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.